in the laws of the Federation of Nigeria as the Estate Surveyors and Valuers Registration Act, Cap E13. Good morning and welcome to Real Estate Matters on Super FM 2.7 Lagos. I'm still your host with the host, the Real Estate Doctor. Today on the show promises to be a very important and a very exciting conversation, as we have a very important personality in the house who is going to do justice to the topic of discussion today. But before we go further, I'd like us to go on this very short break. When we come back, we'll dive straight into the conversation. All right, welcome back. We're still on Real Estate Matters on Super FM 2.7. I'm still your host with the most Real Estate Doctor. Like I said earlier before we went on that very short break, our conversation on the show today is a very important conversation as it borders on regulation and professional standards in Nigeria. There have been a lot of reactions and a lot of controversies over a lot of regulation in the real estate industry. And for us as a people, we thought that it was important that we bring in experts and professionals to the studio today to help us dissect this conversation. Our topic of discussion again today is regulations and professional standards in Nigeria. Also, don't forget that you can be part of the show by calling us on 080-509-20927. I'll take that one more time, 080-509-20927. So let me read out the profile of our guest for today. Our guest for today is Estate Surveyor and Valuer Shehu O. Janet, a fellow of the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, a registered surveyor and valuer. She's the current registrar of the Estate Surveyors and Valuers Registration Board of Nigeria, ex-Gabon, appointed in the early 2024 as the first female to hold this position. She manages the regulatory body responsible for licensing, training, and registering estate surveyors and valuers in Nigeria. Without further ado, I'd like to also, introduce one of our guests to the studio too. I have Estate Surveyor and Valuer Tokunbo Akinyomi, the Honorary Publicity Secretary, Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, Lagos State Branch. So let me welcome my guest, our registrar first. Good to have you in the studio.
My pleasure.
Good to have you. Sorry, it was quite tough to bring you to the studio, knowing that you are somebody with a very busy schedule. I remember that we were both in Saudi Arabia less than a few weeks back at the Real Estate Future Forum conference, and it was a very wonderful session over there too. Estate Surveyor and Valuer Tokunbo Akinyomi, good to have you too.
Thank you for having me once again.
Thank you. I must say that this program is proudly sponsored by, this particular episode is proudly sponsored by the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, Lagos State Branch. And I think that you guys have done so well to bring this sort of awareness to Nigerians.
Thank you very much.
In the real estate market, as we speak today, there's so much going on, so many questions that need answers. Last year, we had countless numbers of building collapse. This year, we've had countless numbers of building collapse. We've had countless numbers of fire outbreaks in multiple parts of the country. We've had quite a number of demolitions everywhere. So we're going to, bring those conversations to the front burner of our conversation today. So today, we're also going to look at some very important part of this conversation, which is we're going to look at the regulation and professional standards in Nigeria. Under that, we're going to look at the professional standards and ethics. We're also going to look at, very importantly, we're going to talk about quackery in the real estate industry. Then we're also going to look at capacity building and continuous development. Also very important is consumer protection and public confidence. Then we'll look at some forward-looking questions. So once again, let me bring our guest to this conversation, Estate Surveyor and Valuer Janet. So let me say that for you to, Gabon was established in 1975. That's 31 years. So for you to emerge as the first female registrar, I think I should give you, I call this bell our bell of victory. That's a very remarkable one. That's to tell you that women are also, coming into the fore and making strident efforts to also show that they have capacity. I know that I've been a member of this profession of NAIS for well over 10 years now, and I've also been a part of ex-Gabon too. So tell us, what do you think? So, as for you as a registrar of ex-Gabon, what is the mandate of ex-Gabon in regulating estate surveying and valuation practice in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. First of all, let me correct an impression.
Yes, please.
ex-Gabon has been in existence for over 50 years.
50 years. Oh, that's
this year will be 51 years of existence of
Oh,
SVABON.
that's good to know.
And you already gave a background of what SVABON stands for in
Yes.
your introduction.
Yes, please.
And for those who might not have catch what you said, Section 2
Yes.
of the SVABON Act,
Yes.
Cap E13,
Yes.
law of FNN,
Definitely.
empowers the board
Okay.
to basically regulate
Regulate.
the standard
Hmm.
of practice.
Good.
And in doing that, the board determines the quality of those who are to be registered as estate surveyors of value,
True. Good.
and also set standards of practice.
Standards. Yes. Good.
So the core mandate, if you want to put it in a nutshell, is to regulate and control the practice of estate surveying and valuation in all its aspects and ramifications throughout Nigeria.
That's well said, because standardization of any professional body is very, very important, because we see that there are lots of professional bodies and a lot of them try to make sure that they put in a regulatory body to oversee all their professional activities, because by so doing there's a lot of issues that are reduced. Because if you are, as a person, if you don't have somebody who's regulating you or somebody who's watching after you, somebody you are answerable to, then that means you are just out, you over in the little or no time you go out of control and nobody can really call you to order. That's well said. Also, talking about standards, what professional standard must registered estate surveyors and valuers adhere to?
There are a lot of standards that the board has put in place.
Yes.
We have the code of ethics.
Excellent. Yeah.
Basically, that's like the rules.
Rules.
What is expected of each and every one of us as registered.
Rules of engagement.
Yes, in terms of how you render your services.
Good.
There's also the Green Book, the valuation standard, that tells you what you need to apply or how you need to carry out any valuation exercise that is given to you. And then the valuation standard, which we call the Green Book in Nigeria, is an adaptation of the International Valuation Standard, IVS standard. And it has the framework of delivery of RICS. In it also is the Nigerian standard, which has to do with our eminent domains, laws that are bordering on issues of compensation, mining, and other stuff. And so the Code of Ethics, the valuation standard, and then we have also the regulation. The regulation is made pursuant to the Enabling Act. You know that the Act has been in existence for over 50 years. A lot of things have evolved over the years, and because of the changes, the dynamics of the economy, and the need to keep up with best practice, global best practices, regulation has been put in place to checkmate those things that are not captured at the time the acts were enabled. So all of those things are what the estate surveyors and valuers should be guided with.
Well said, well said, well said. While you were giving your response to that last question, you also talked about regulation. So that brings me to this question: why is regulation important to the real estate and valuation sector?
Well, there's a common saying that where there's no law, there's no offense.
There's no offense. Absolutely.
And so the regulation basically guides the practice and response of estate surveyors and valuers to the public interest.
Yes.
Okay, as an estate surveyor, you must understand that these are the rules, these are the standards, these are the ethics or ethos of the profession. Those are all captured in the regulation. And what does the regulation do? It helps, to boost confidence, because people will know that, look, this is a profession that is well regulated.
Yes.
Will be able to have the confidence to deal with you, knowing that if there is any incursion, there is where to go and seek redress.
Yes.
And then it also helps in maintaining industry standard, like I mentioned earlier.
Yes.
Without the adaptation of the global best practices
Yes.
and trying to ensure that our practices are acceptable globally.
Yes.
It then means that we have also disenfranchised estate surveyors and valuers.
Mm.
But by having a regulation
Yes.
which is tailored towards performance of global best practices,
Yes.
it means an estate surveyor can do a report in Nigeria, and then it's going to be
acceptable
considered anywhere in the world.
Yes.
You know, the issue of qualification, enhancement, standard,
Yes.
all of it are guided by the regulation.
Excellent. Excellent. Well said. Well said. My next, before I go to my next question, let me welcome Kingray to the studio. Kingray, what's going on?
Good morning.
So we've been discussing with Estate Surveyor and Valuer Janet Shehu, the Registrar of Estate Surveyors and Valuers Registration Board of Nigeria, and she's been engaging us in quite a number of conversations. My next question, let me also bring in Estate Surveyor and Valuer Tokunbo Akinyomi, the Honorary Public Secretary of NAIF Lagos State Branch, into this conversation. But that question is going to be answered by both of you because it's a very important question. There've been a lot of building collapse. Last year, I make bold to say that we had well over 10 building collapse cases in Nigeria. This year, we've had quite a number of building collapse too. We're not saying that it is only Nigeria that properties buildings collapse, but Nigeria has the highest number all over the world, globally, over almost 700 cases since the 70s till date. That tells you that there's a very big issue with quackery. Nigeria is a country where people just eat money, let me use that word. The next thing they want to go to is building construction, and that's because that sector is not well regulated. So what is the position of NAIF Lagos State Branch with the issue of quackery? And because people see us as the professionals in real estate. So what is the position of NAIF Lagos State with the issue of tackling quackery? Then I'll get Estate Surveyor and Janet take on that.
Thank you once again for having me, and thanks for that question as well.
Yeah.
So the thing there is that estate surveyors and valuers at the end of the day, after the building cycle,
Yes.
are actually the property managers and factory managers of these properties as well.
Yes, absolutely.
And these things will come to the fore when
Yes.
there's a shortcut basically in
Yes.
the construction.
Yes.
So that's why we always clamor that at the beginning of the construction period,
Yeah.
that surveyors should be involved as well.
Yes.
Because we have surveyors who also act as project managers as
Project
well.
managers, yes.
So when you have the team, because we're in the built industry, so you have to work with the builders, with the architects, with the engineers and all that.
Yes.
But at the end, after everything said and done, like I said earlier, it comes back to the surveyors as the property managers and facility managers.
Yes.
So when we're involved from the get-go, you need to know who's going to drop the ball and
Yes.
how to avert that. You
Yes.
advise you to the client as well.
Yes.
So those are the ways we feel that we can actually reduce building collapse
Beautiful.
by actually averting quacks.
Yes.
I've seen situations where you have a Baba Kamaru
Yes.
who probably, because he's worked in several projects.
We have many of them. They call them
That he
draftsman.
can,
They
he
do
can
everything.
sketch. He feels as a builder. Whereas, we know that no, you didn't study building. You're not registered
Yes.
with the building
Now
registration
we
board.
recite experts.
So that's I believe that with surveyors handling projects.
So what is NAIF Lagos State doing with awareness? Because I think the public needs to know that they are professionals and they are quacks. When the public don't, when there's a missing gap, when there's a lacuna or a vacuum in terms of what's going on in society, the public, the vulnerable public people just patronize anybody, assuming that just because this man is putting on a suit and they feel he's a professional. It's not only a professional that puts on suits. So I've seen estate agent that will put estate valuer on their services that they render and they are not qualified. So what is also your take on that?
So I believe image is everything.
Yes.
Perception and how you put yourself out there. So coincidentally happened to be one of your sister companies as well.
Yeah.
Went there for something.
Yeah.
And somebody recognized the fact that the surveyor based on my laptop
Yeah.
and asked questions basically. Her colleague had to now say that okay, we are valuers as surveyors.
Yeah.
And I told okay, for example, that caretaker. I say, of course.
Yeah.
I say, but no, we're property managers.
Yes.
So I have to enlighten them, and all the colleagues gathered around me, more like paying rapt attention to what I was saying, basically. So basically, it's part of what we do,
Yes.
this advocacy, even to our members as well, that
Yes.
we need to represent. But I have the registrar.
Yes.
She talked about codes earlier,
Yeah.
ethics basically. So
Yes.
those are things we go out there when we see our clients,
Yes.
and we give advisory to clients as well, that these are the things that surveyors do, these are the things we stand for, just to set
Yes.
ourselves apart basically.
Yes.
And basically, there's no point cutting corners.
Cutting corners, yes. So let me also hear the take of my registrar, because Estate Surveyors and Valuers Registration Board of Nigeria, ESVABON, is a regulatory body backed by the government, by the federal government, so to say. And I know that a lot of these things, when they happen, a lot of people put the blame on the government. Oh, what is ESVABON doing? What is the association of, even builders? They have their own regulatory body too. What are they doing to avert all these things? We cannot continue to lose innocent Nigerians to building collapse. For me, it's even becoming very embarrassing that this is happening almost every market day. So a certain developer built a house at somewhere in Lekki Palm City. Lagos State government had to demolish that building like a few weeks ago, because this is a newly built house that was already tilting to the right. And Lagos State government was seeing the danger as was about to happen. They had to pull down the 3 units. So what's the take of ESVABON with regulating, dealing with quacks, and also making sure that there's total standards in the real estate sector?
Oh, well, the Estate Surveyors and Valuers Registration Board
Yes.
basically regulates registered estate surveyors and valuers. But in the build industry,
Yes.
there are 7 regulatory bodies.
Good.
You have the ACON, that's the Architects Registration Council of Nigeria,
Yes.
that regulates the architect.
Architect.
You have the COBON, the Council of Registered Builders, that regulates the builders.
Yeah.
You have COREN,
Correct.
Council of Registered Engineers,
Engineers. Yeah.
that regulates all the aspects of engineering profession.
Yeah.
You have SOCAN and you have TOPREC.
I think second is for land surveyors.
Yes, that's the Surveyor Registration
Yes.
Council and then the Town Planning Registration Council. And all the 7 regulatory bodies
Yeah.
have their own function in
Yes.
the built industry.
Yes.
The ACON design, the current both structural and electrical engineer
Yeah.
manage that aspect of engineering drawing.
Yeah.
The structural engineers are there.
Hmm.
And then the builder
Yes.
is supposed to be
Hmm.
the one in charge of all building real construction work.
Yes.
But what is common in Nigeria is to see that a mason who,
Yes.
because he has 5-10 years
Hmm.
and he can understand the architectural drawing,
Yeah.
we just said, oh, he can undo this project.
Project. Yeah.
Yes, he can understand the floor plan.
Yes.
But what about the complex structural design?
Hmm.
Is he able to understand it?
Hmm.
The reinforcements and all of those things.
Mm.
And that is where you have the differentiation of our profession.
Profession. Yes.
Recently, there's this building collapse guild
Yeah.
that cuts across all these regulatory bodies, an association that is formed.
Yeah.
They've been going around, they've been coming up with papers
Hmm.
on reasons for each of the sites where there's collapse,
Yes.
probable reasons of
Yes.
why there are collapse.
Yes.
There is the human factors, there is the also material factors,
Yes.
substandard material being
Substandard,
used
yes.
and all of that.
Yes.
But in situation whereby we have good monitoring,
Hmm.
because I remember those days, as far back as 1984, when my father was building his own house,
Hmm.
we had a red flag
Hmm.
when the development control came visiting.
Yes.
What happened? Why did we get the red flag? When they did the DPC,
Yes.
the form work,
Yes.
it rained overnight.
Hmm.
And then there was, a kind of flood
Yes.
that came into the form work,
Yes.
and you could see debris on the reinforcement bar.
Hmm.
We were supposed to pour concrete the next day.
Hmm.
They didn't let us pour the concrete because they believe that those debris on top of the reinforcement bar will create impurity, which will make the concrete not to stand well.
Yes.
And so we had to get somebody to come clean up.
Hmm.
and then they came back for a inspection before they gave us a clean slate to pour the concrete. Now, are sites being inspected like that these days? Those who are supposed to monitor some of this building under construction, are they really doing their professional work? Those who are willing to do it, are political will allowing them to do their function? So for us to really deal with building collapse, we have to allow the professionals to really take charge.
Yes.
And then the Standard Organization of Nigeria also have to look into some of the materials that are imported into the country.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I also think another problem is, are people also willing to pay professionals? Well, let me bring Ray into this conversation.
You mentioned professionals being involved, right? But these bodies that currently exist, I'm sure there are professionals that are working there, right? What is stopping them from doing what they should to ensure that the lives of Nigerians are safe within the buildings that are being
One of the constraints of some of the regulatory bodies, it's finance. Out of the 7,
yes.
it's only 2 that is really being funded by the government. The remaining ones get subvention when the budget line is convenient for the government. And so they rely mostly on IGR
Yes.
to perform their function, which kind of bring a limitation
To what they can do.
to logistics of moving, in as much as they will want to be all over Nigeria to do an oversight function.
Yes.
And what we have been advocating is to ask people, for any job you want to do, you can at least employ a builder. You know, if you have a builder on site, he can read between the lines. He can come up and say, look, I don't think this you're doing well. If you go back to the history of one of the building collapse in Lagos.
In Lagos, yeah.
I didn't see the report, but some of the newspaper posts was that the structural engineer with the builder resigned a week before that building collapsed. Because they felt that some of the things that the developer was doing, it's not in tandem with the professional
And their license was at stake.
ethic, you know. And I know that on 2 occasions, even in Abuja, I've had to advise a younger colleague to put in a formal letter resigning from his site,
Yes.
and he should copy his regulatory body.
Yes.
That effective this day, is no longer the project manager of the site.
Because of what they are doing.
Because suddenly they want him to use a different mix of concrete from what the structural engineer has prescribed.
Just to reduce cost.
Shouldn't it go beyond just resigning? Shouldn't they be flagging it, blowing whistles to indicate that this developer is compromised?
Yeah, the fact that he has resigned, he has sent it to his regulatory body, then the enforcement arm of the regulatory body should take it up.
To tell the public.
Yes, not necessarily telling the public, but to, go to the site, investigate and see what they are doing, and probably ask the government body, because you have the development control, I don't know how it's called in Lagos, in Abuja, they call it the Abuja Municipality Development Control.
I think in Lagos we have LAPSCA, Lagos State Building Control Agency.
Yeah.
Yes.
So those ones are supposed to monitor every building approval that is granted. Because when you submit your building plans for approval, you will have added your survey plan. That is your title document, which has the coordinate. And so it behoves on them a responsibility to do a snap check on those areas and see, in the last 2 weeks we have given approval for about 15 buildings. Let's go and check whether they have started. And if they have started, there should be a local, they call it district officer for that environment, who should be able to also report back and say, this is the progress of work. And everything boils down on monitoring and control.
Yes.
And how do we monitor and control? When there is enablement, when there is resources, And when you come down to the estate surveying and valuation, it's the
Yes.
same thing.
Yes.
Quackery has given us a whole lot of name.
Yes. I agree.
Mr. Rahman, Madam Jane, the one selling by the street, suddenly hear that a property is up for sale. Without understanding the principle of agency, he goes out and start marketing. And some unsuspecting populace,
Yeah.
Nigerians,
Yeah.
will believe that those ones have direct
Access.
to the person selling.
Mm.
And then they trust them, and their money is lost. And then the next thing is we pay to an agent. And in the mind of the citizenry, the agent is the estate surveyors and valuer. One of the things I always tell people is that, look, we have what we should do as registered estate surveyors and valuer, even when carrying out the business of agency.
Yes.
There are rules of engagement.
Yes.
You must give me an instruction. I must accept the instruction, telling you this is how I'm going to go about to execute the job.
Yeah.
If it is a joint work, you must disclose to me that you are not the only one that have the exclusive marketing right. And then it is also my right to have the contact of those people and assess them and see whether they are people I want to work with. Because you cannot bring me with all my years of qualification together with somebody who does not understand the rudiments of agency. Other than if I can get somebody who will show interest and then I can end the fee. It is much more than that for us.
Yes.
Every aspect of our profession, its thing is guided by rules and regulations. There are codes for every aspect.
There's a code of ethics. that
For
we will
every aspect, for valuation, for agency, for facilities management, and all of that. And so, for us to deal with quackery,
Yes.
one of the things that the board is doing is to improve on its speed in terms of registration of
Register more professionals.
more professionals.
Excellent. Yeah.
And
I'm sorry to interject, but
Yes.
that takes me to another question.
Yeah.
Within the institution, there are professionals who break this code, right?
Yes. In any profession.
Well,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
But our focus now is this profession.
No, I'm
right?
just no. Why I said that? Why I said that is you know.
I'm just
No, I'm not
saying-
defending. I'm not defending. So why I said that really? Why I said that yesterday I was strolling through the streets of Instagram and I saw a lawyer who was sent to jail for forgery.
Yes.
So in every profession there's always
Okay, so you see there's consequences there.
yes.
Okay, but back to my question.
Yeah.
Within the profession, now,
Yeah.
what is the consequence for professionals who have been flagged for either not upholding the code of ethics with facility management, with brokerage? Because even within the institution, I'm sure you have engaged some professionals
Yes.
who have cut corners, who in fact, there are some people that that surveyor, just the way you're working with him, managing.
Yes.
Why is there no consequence for such professionals who are within the space and holding the pin, and holding, these are people that are actually registered. What is the consequence for that?
you see, you need to understand that I said something earlier before you
Yes.
come, that when there's no law, there's no offense.
Yes.
In our case, we have law. And we have a section of, if you go to the supplementary provision in the Act,
Yes.
you will see that the disciplinary process
Yes.
for the board. Before we can act, there must be a complaint. And so, if you don't bring a complaint forward,
Yes.
the
Formal
board cannot
complaints.
act. Because the tribunal of the board has the power of a high court. The rulings of the tribunal can only be set aside by an appeal court. And so, for the tribunal to sit and decide on any case, it must have gone through the first phase of disciplinary process, which is the investigative panel. Usually when we receive complaint, the first thing that is done is that a query is issued.
Yes.
That a complaint like this has come, we need you to respond. And once you respond, it is passed to the investigative panel who will start a process. And based on their findings, punishment is being handed.
Yes.
It could be suspension, it could be warning, it could be outright delisting. That is removal of name from the register. In situations like that, by the time they know that this is going to resolve to this, they send it to the tribunal, because it is only the tribunal that can come up with a ruling or what we call direction in that regard. And so, once you leave the investigative panel and matters are referred to tribunal, a charge is written just the same way you receive a court summons. It is sent to you with all the details of what you are accused of. You have a right to even bring a lawyer, because at this point it is a court sitting. And the tribunal of the board does not sit unless the assessor is seated. The assessor is appointed by the Ministry of Justice. So, and most of the time the assessor is of the position of a senior advocate of Nigeria. So you can see that it's a very serious business.
Yes.
And in situation like that, the lawyer can stand and speak for you. The board lawyer can be there, or the petitioner lawyer also can be there. And if you are found wanting, God help you, depending on the degree, your license is withdrawn. And when it is withdrawn, it is published to the public that this person is no longer eligible to pride himself as a registered estate surveyors and valuers. But you see, most times people are unwilling to come forth. Most of the issues we have handled are basically issues that are in-house. What do I mean by in-house? Two registered surveyors having issues among themselves, and they come to the board.
Yeah.
We had an agreement, we are going to execute this job, and we agreed that we are going to share the fee 50-50, and he has not paid me. Those are most of the cases. In rare cases, few cases, we've had some clients who had come in and said, my rent was not remitted to me on time.
Yes.
That also makes us to go back to enforcement of what we have always been telling our registered estate surveyors and valuers. You must differentiate your client's account from your operational account. And situations where we have had these cases, we realize that it is when the client's account and operational accounts are mixed together that those delays and those issues comes up. Not because they actually have a fraudulent intention. And what happened? Bills are mounting, and you just felt, oh, because I have a client who don't ask for his money until after a year, I can just take a little from there and solve immediate problem. But you also don't know. The client has an emergency, and just remember that I'm supposed to have some money here.
Yes.
Send my money, and then it becomes an issue. And so every now and then we tell our registered estate surveyors, we will not spare you when you decided to put your hand into your client's money. When we have cases like that, in fact, a few cases that we're going to come down, it was even the client that said, oh, you don't have to go this far. I just want my money and all of that. He has always been a very good person. We've had cases like that. We've had instances when people sent in petition, and the same person will said, we have resolved our issues,
Yes.
and I want to withdraw my petition. Even though we go ahead to give a warning, because the moment somebody is sending a petition is a red flag for us. You know, our monitoring team are taking care of that. And so, build up of all of this, before we even give a certificate of compliance to anybody seeking to start a practice, we do firm inspection. And part of the requirement is ascertaining that you have been able to have your client and operational accounts distinct. And so It's an ongoing thing.
Conversation.
It's an ongoing thing, and the board is continuing in its process of ensuring that we deal with issues that are brought before us.
All right, thank you very much. Let me also say that we're live on Facebook on Super FM 2.7. Again, we've been in the studio with two perfect gentlemen, Estate Survey and Valuer, Janet Shehu, a fellow of the institution, fellow of the Nigerian Institute of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. We've been having too many calls, but I didn't want to interject your conversation. And also the registrar of Esvabon. Then we also have Estate Survey and Valuer Tokumbo Akinyomi, the Honorary Public Secretary, Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, Lagos State Branch. Let's bring this caller into this conversation. Yes, morning, please. So please, can you turn down the volume of your register, please? All right, morning. Please, what's your name and where you're coming from? Wait. Okay. Go ahead, please. Good. Yeah. Really?
What? Wow, made it political. Oh, wow.
That's how we got here as a country in the first place. We politicized everything. Do you know a certain school collapsed in Ikorodu this year? Wow. I'm so happy you were not killed though, because the way people are hungry these days. Because this guy has seen Go ahead. What I would say is Nigeria is a free country. Just listen to us.
Thank you very much, Onyebuchi.
Yes, very sad that happened to you. Very unfortunate, but we're also happy that it didn't degenerate out of that.
And it didn't cost your life or even severe injuries.
Nigeria is a free country, but I don't know why many of us, we feel very threatened when we see people taking our pictures in a public space, particularly taking pictures of a public structure.
Okay.
You understand what I mean? So this is a school. So this guy is saying a sign of collapse. Is taking a picture, probably to report to the appropriate authority so they can take action, so people don't die.
Yes.
A certain school collapsed here in Ikorodu while the students were in session. Thank God that nobody died. So if we start to see, that's why when you are in the UK, if you're on a train, they tell you when you see something, say something, because they want everybody to be safe. You don't have to wait till that disaster happens before you escalate it. So this man is so very unfortunate that I hope that you can take it up with that school if I was you. Because I mean,
assault is not the way.
Assault is not the way. Yeah, okay, so,
I agree that some properties you cannot just walk up to some properties and take photos. But usually such properties put up signs where they
put up signs,
no photos, and there are certain spaces that you come into and you see within that space where they indicate do not take photos of people.
Yes, right? We're getting another call. Let's bring up this caller onto you. Yes, please. Morning, please.
Good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
What did you call your name?
My name is Prosper. I'm on the road.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead, please.
Yes, Prosper.
So, I noticed some demolitions went on around AIT Road access.
Okay.
Because I'm constantly on the road and I take riders out because I'm not the driver.
Okay, good.
And when I asked, they said it was because they were on that power line. And that's
right.
Ridiculous because if you're going to look at around the power line, like electric power line.
Yes.
Okay, so I find that a bit ridiculous because if you were going to do that demolition under many houses, because there's so many houses under millions of power lines.
Right.
You know, each time I took people in that same direction, I heard different stories. One time, one person said, "Oh, that they're actually already reselling the property."
Wow.
Then another person told me that, "Oh, they say that if you want to promote it back, you have to do like 100 million."
Wow. 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 Wow.
So I don't know what the regulations are concerning building under those power lines because it doesn't permit people to build under
To
those
build
power
and
lines.
then and then now demolish it afterwards.
Thank you. Just continue to listen. I'll have our guest. I'll have our guest respond to that question. So let me have
Thank
the
you very
registrar's
much,
take on that,
Prosper.
on this
Because
gentleman's.
that's it, yes,
Yes.
because that's something that we need to address. Yes, please.
Well,
What do you think about that?
It's not my area of practice,
Yeah.
Okay.
but I can tell you from being in the build industry
Yeah.
that there are standards in
Yes.
terms of setbacks,
Yes.
not
Absolutely.
necessarily for power line alone,
Yes. Exactly.
for every infrastructure,
Yes.
whether it's pipelines,
Or
whether
roads.
it's even the ordinary setback for roads.
Yes.
And if they check very well, if those buildings are directly under power line, it is not likely to have a building approval.
Yes.
I don't think
I agree with you.
any
Any-
professional,
Yes.
either town planners or those who form the approval team under the Lacera or
Lapska, yeah.
Yeah.
Lapska
will
and
give approval
Lasepa. Yeah.
for anything that is directly under the tension.
Yes. The planning authority.
They won't. I'm not sure there will be approval.
Absolutely. But recently, even this popular guy, Ola of Lagos,
So
his
how
car,
did
the car stand was demolished.
If you have a tension passing through your plot,
Yes.
I think up to 15 or 60 meters, I'm not sure,
Yeah.
must be the setback
Hmm.
for you to be able to build. I'm not sure whether it's 15 or up to. I know it's
There's a certain setback,
higher
yeah.
than 10 meters.
Mhm.
So, and the people in the power sector, they have this instrument that they use to check.
Yeah.
So they come into your premises, drop it, and then it goes up and establish from where that tension cut through your line,
Really?
and then they are able to now tell you this is the
This is
distance.
the yes.
Yes.
And on that strength, they give you a clearance.
Mhm.
It is when you have that clearance that you can get approval, which means, yes, there is a tension close to your house,
Yeah.
but you have a clearance which says that you are not likely to suffer any damages if that tension snaps. And so, government has a responsibility. Like I keep telling people that, look, if we remove politics
Yeah.
and allow professionals to handle their work,
Yes.
do their duty from day one, before even the person begin to expend money to build,
Yes.
you will read the flag, sorry, you cannot build here. But because Lagos, we know, has scarcity of land, it has more water than land. And by the time the government reclaimed the land, how many common man is able to access such? Example is the Morocco. Example is this Iluberi. And so many of those reclaimed
Yes.
this. So if this problem will be solved, the government has to be they have to be encouraged
Yes.
to go into what is called social housing,
Yes.
and it has to be a deliberate effort. You know, all over the world there are certain services that is done. They don't
Yes.
necessarily have to build, and when they are building, they build using recycled material, low cost housings that people can finish and move into.
Yes.
And so when land is available, made available by the government,
Yeah.
people won't go under detention.
I agree.
One of the rights of Nigerians is right to housing, decent
Yes.
accommodation.
Yes. I agree. I agree.
Now, this
sorry,
caller-
wait. Let me also hack. There's something very important I want to hack. Earlier in January, myself, I think King Gray also was in Saudi. Our registrar, Esther Sadia Janet, was also at Saudi at the Future Real Estate, the Real Estate Future Forum. So I like to get your take on that, on your take home from that conference. Then after that, I also want to get, if we're talking about capacity building and continuous development, I want to know what the position of NAIVS is, particularly Lagos State branch, with collaborating with universities and institutions, to maintain quality education from this, upcoming Estate Surveys and Value. So let me get the take from Estate Surveyor Jill about the conference.
The Future Real Estate Conference in Saudi.
Yes.
Well, for us as a country,
Yes.
I would say we are just starting. If you remember, even the minister, architect, Thengiwa, during the meeting said, we shouldn't just participate. We should go back home and see how we can implement some of the things we have learned.
That's true.
You saw a lot of exhibitors.
Hmm.
You saw some of the houses that they are trying to build.
Yes.
And part of the approach is even bringing in. Saudi has always been known to be a conservative environment.
Yes.
But now they are opening up, asking investors from all over the world to come in. Why are they doing that? Saudi is a very wealthy nation.
Very wealthy.
All through the areas we went to, we didn't see a sign of anybody sleeping under any bridge.
At all. That's all.
Sure.
We didn't see. They have a good social security structure.
Yes.
And even the plan for the affordable housing was
It's
really,
there.
really elaborate. And
Very elaborate.
yeah.
And so when you look at that, how even the renewable housing,
Yes.
how renew is the hope? Because I ask myself the question.
That question has a very big question mark. I mean, a lot of Nigerians are still waiting.
We are still
I know they
waiting,
started somewhere.
Because there are so many demolitions going on and
You see-
setbacks and
you see,
everything. with
As
the
much
roads.
as I appreciate what the federal government is trying to do,
Mhm.
but at the state level, what are they doing to support housing? Because the grandeur of land management is the Land Use Act.
Land Use Act, yes.
It makes the state governor as the one who supersede all land within his territory.
Yes.
Have they been able to make as many land as available
to the public.
at a very cheap rate? Because you
Cheap
see
An affordable rate. Yeah.
that we make them to say, okay, you can come and grab a 2-bedroom for 8 million. And then the mortgage system.
That's another topic. A whole different topic.
I have been contributing to federal housing because it's a statutory deduction from my salary.
Yeah.
But the rules, because of my age, I can't benefit. So if I hadn't planned and have a place that I could call my own, I would retire and still be to where I'm going to put my head. That is the situation. And that is why social housing is very important.
Yes.
And that is why it is also very important for state government to give land. There was a time when the issue of Boko Haram and all of that was all over the place, and the issue of herders, farmers clash.
Yeah.
I said, what is wrong with us in this country? The size of Sambisa is enough to have a ranch for all the cattle in
All the
Nigeria.
taxes. Yeah, absolutely.
All you need to do there is go sink plenty boreholes, put solar or even wind turbines.
Yes.
It will provide electricity. It will provide all year round water.
Yeah.
And they can water the grass and then have some small, even if you are going to build to suit the nomads themselves, their kind of accommodation within that place, and put it there and secure them.
Unfortunately, our time is fast spent, but thank you so much, SSW and share with Janet. I quickly want to get the take of SSW talking about Kiyomi with regards capacity building and continuous development with students in universities.
Okay, so basically at the moment, the education subcommittee of the branch has been doing the reach out to secondary schools Basically, we're
Fantastic.
trying to carry them young, basically.
Fantastic,
Trying to
yeah.
let them know what the profession is all about,
Yes.
what the profession does and all that. And there's been quite good feedbacks on that as well.
Yes.
And then secondly as well, we found out that most students in tertiary institutions actually go into estate management.
By mistake.
By mistake, basically. They probably put in for architecture, engineering.
People like
history.
somebody like me too. I didn't apply for estate management.
So they found themselves studying estate management and they're like, what is this? I don't
Which
understand.
course they give me like
You know,
this?
someone like me that
And it's one of the most lucrative profession in
Yeah.
anywhere in the world.
Yeah, because I actually put in for estate management at the course immediately and I got that. So I knew what I wanted.
What you want to do?
So now the same committee, powered by the branch as well, we're going out to tertiary institutions as well to let them know what the profession is all about. We did that. I was personally at University of Lagos for the undergraduate orientation, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just to let them know what the profession is all about,
Excellent.
what to do and all that. So that's still ongoing, basically. So
Excellent.
we're doing that, reaching out to the public, let them
Excellent.
know what the profession is about, carry them young,
Touch
basically.
them young.
Is Ezavon doing anything in that area on capacity building?
Well, ESBO have relationship with the universities, the polytechnic,
Excellent.
all tertiary institution as a matter
Yes.
of fact.
Yes.
We do periodic inspection of the university by way of accreditation
Excellent.
and look at the curriculum
Yes.
to ensure that it is not just pure academic,
Yeah.
or it's something that it's prepared to make people to be able to fit in into the practice.
Mm.
You know,
Excellent.
so recently we the education committee of the board
Yes.
came out with a skill set document
Excellent.
which was supposed to bridge the gap between the academic and the practice. You
Excellent.
know, it's a kind of guideline
Yes.
that lets you know that look, these are the expectations that they have, because the new curriculum now allows every university up to make some adjustment. There's
Yes.
a kind of 30% something, so you can introduce some courses that are peculiar to
Yes.
your locality and train people. So in order to foster that town and gown relationship,
Yeah.
we came up with the guidelines to help the university to do that. And most time when we go to schools,
Yeah.
we have a kind of interaction with the student. We don't just go to say, let's see what is being done. We want to have a feedback from the student and see where there are gaps.
Excellent.
And so we take those gaps to the management during our exit visit
Mm.
and instruct them that these are the issues from your students, from the lecturers, and from what we have seen, examining their books and all of that.
For me, I think I because our time is fast spent, we have less than 2 minutes to go. So for me, I think capacity building starts from our homes. Last week, my son is 6 years old. I told him, okay, when you grow up, you are doing estate management. I told him we are not even negotiating it, because a lot of times we want this profession not to go out of extinct. We want people that can take over. You know what I mean? So just recently at the last induction, Esther Sovian Valor, Stephen Jagun, the son too was inducted. So we want to see people like that. We want to continue to see that kind of orientation, so that, because the more the merrier, the more we have the profession, the more the more it gets better, the more the public, because over 8,000 or 7,000 estates of years and valuers cannot service over 200 million Nigerians. So we need more people. So thank you so much, Esther Sovian Valor, Shehu Janet, a fellow of the institution and also the registrar of SVAG1. It's been a wonderful time with you in the studio.
Thank you for the
thank
opportunity.
you. Also, Esther Sovian Valor talking about Kiyomi. It's been a wonderful time with you too. And thank you to the Nigerian Institute of Estates and Valuers Lagos State branch for sponsoring this session. It's been a very wonderful session. King Gray, what's going on?
I think this session has actually been very enlightening, although there have been a lot of calls that we've not
We
been
could not even pick calls.
right,
Yeah,
and there's always a lot of questions with regards to the consequences, the benefits, and the education of Nigerians about professionals and the different aspects, the different regulatory bodies within the building industry. So fantastic session today.
Yeah, so till we come your way same time next week, let me leave you with this. Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. Thank you so much. Stay blessed.